All right, we're going to go ahead and open up our Excel file. We're going to grab the data. Go and double click on data. Grab data again, and we're going to bring it over to drag table to union. Now if we click this down arrow, edit union, we can see we have data and data 1. We can take a look at the sheet 1 over here, take a look at the data, see exactly what it did. So as you can see here, it added the table name. So we have data, and then we have data 1. And as you can see from the first row, 20,000, alpha A1 20,000. Up here on data, alpha A1 20,000. Both scenario 1. This will allow us to do the math later to figure out how big of a change we've had between our scenario 1 and scenario 2. All right, first thing we're going to do, create a calculated field. Call this YF table ID. 0 if null, integer, right, table name. We're going to look for the rightmost character in the table name. And then if it's a number or not, we're going to add a 1 to it. So if it's data 1, it'll turn into a 2. If it's data, it'll just be a 1. Make sure that worked properly. Data 1. As soon as we get to data 1, we got 2. Perfect. Now we're going to want to be able to look at our changes by customer. So let's go ahead and make that. If and only if YF table ID equals 1, then we're going to call this scenario 1. Otherwise, customer. We're going to do this again. But we also want to look at this by product. If and only if YF table ID equals 1, then SC1 again. Otherwise, product. We also are going to want to create a customer hierarchy or a hierarchy so we can look at the customer and the product and choose if we want to look at just customer or just product. I'll go ahead and drag that up here. We can also pull our YF table ID up as well, but let's create or change that to a dimension first. And then one more calculation. So we can do our calculation for the delta between the two scenarios. All right, so I went ahead and pasted it in, but basically what this is doing is if it's table ID 1, which is that first data set, it is going to look for whether or not it's scenario 1 and then take the volume for all of scenario 1. If it's table ID 2, as you can see up here, table ID 1 and table ID 2. This one is going to show you the actual change between scenario 1 and scenario 2. So here we're looking for if it's scenario 2, get the volume and then subtract the volume from scenario 1. That'll give us our delta. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this up here. We need a running total. Let's go ahead and pull this over to size. And we actually want to make this negative. So let me go ahead and make this Gantt already. And then volume again, put this in tooltip. And then we're also going to put this on color and do something here where we're going to just type in sign at the beginning, close bracket, and that will allow us to do the color based on whether it's positive or negative. And set this to green. Analysis totals, show row grand totals. And then we'll have our ending scenario. And then up here, because we created the hierarchy, right now we're looking at customer, alpha, kappa, omega, theta. See exactly what their changes are by customer. Then if we want to see by product by customer, we can also see that as well. And if we did want to pull out customer, we could see what the product changes are as well. Let's go ahead and clean up the tooltip a bit as well, where we don't need all of these details. So we don't need the table ID, don't need the sign. So we just need the customer, the product, where the total is, and then what the delta is. So now if I hover over it, you can see customer's alpha, product is C1, the running total is 515 after 20,000 was added. And if we wanted to clean this up a little bit more, customer, product, running total